Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh, is being reinvestigated about allegations of sexual assault. But during his confirmation hearing, he faced questions on another issue raging in America for a very long time, that of abortion. Some evangelical Christians and conservatives want him to help overturn Roe versus Wade. That's the decision that made abortion legal in the United States. Well, our US correspondent Cordelia Lynch has been given pretty rare access to a clinic in Oklahoma City where providers are deeply concerned about the future, and you may find some of the images and content in her report distressing.
In Oklahoma, they have to fly abortion providers in. There are only 3 clinics in the state and just 1 for second trimester pregnancies.
2 weeks ago when I was here, the ones that I saw, 2 of them were surgical. Yeah. So
Dr. Andrea Chiavarini has a packed schedule.
I don't know if they even have it open.
And she's taking us to see what it's like on the inside.
Do you remember the first day of your last period? And then, do you have insurance?
All right, what we got here?
This state has been restricting access to abortion, forcing women to travel huge distances.
Some of them come from Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. It's crazy. And then they wait 7 hours because we can't, there's only, I'm one person.
More than 450,000 women have had abortions.
Her work was made possible by Roe v. Wade, a landmark legal decision in the 1970s that fueled decades of fierce debate.
The Supreme Court today ruled that abortion is completely a private matter to be decided by mother and doctor in the first 3 months of pregnancy.
45 years later, Donald Trump is promising change with a conservative judge that could help overturn the ruling. That may be the dream of evangelical Christians, but not the majority of America. And in hard-pressed places like Oklahoma, it sparks fear.
Hello. Hi, I'm Dr. Chiavarini. It's nice to meet you. Doing all right? So the situation in Oklahoma is literally what I would call at the level of a developing country.
Our work, specifically in Oklahoma and in Kansas, it's the whim of the legislature. The whim of the legislature, and then also whoever is sitting in the governor's mansion.
The one that you weren't in just now.
In the operating rooms, there are no easy decisions.
Okay, honey, you're gonna feel me touch. Okay, I'm just gonna check your cervix here.
This woman is 15 weeks pregnant.
Good job.
I know it. Almost done. Almost done with this part.
What strikes you the most here is just how busy it is. Demand is clearly high. Many women have driven hours to get here, and some have spent weeks hanging on, trying to save enough money for the procedure.
It can cost up to £2,000. This woman has travelled 6 hours from another state. She says she's married and studying and isn't ready to have a child. At home, she found it near impossible to find help.
It was very hard. I called, I believe, about 10 clinics, 5 in my town and another 5 in another town next to ours. And they wouldn't give any information about anything that comes talking about abortion. They would even be mean talking about it.
But conservatives believe the tide is turning in their favour.
I think Oklahoma is a tough state to access abortion.
Representative Justin Humphrey is pushing for men to have more legal power.
I am very much opposed to abortion, and I think that fathers should be given a say-so. Fathers should be advised. You ought to at least have to advise a father and give him an opportunity to have some say-so.
There is already deep stigma and struggle attached to abortion in the US, carved by religion, race and money. In Jackson, Mississippi, some are so desperate they're taking things into their own hands.
And she was saying how she was like, if you start bleeding a little too heavily, call the police and things like that.
Denise is one of hundreds of thousands of women in America who have attempted a self-induced abortion. At 16, she says an older woman she knew gave her a herb to take.
I kind of stopped bleeding the day that everything had finally came out, and then the fetus came out while I was in the shower, and I kind of just like kind of just looked at it, and I picked it up and put it in my washcloth rag, and then I walked outside, and it was funny because my dorm was in front of a graveyard. So I walked to the back through the apartment area, and I put it in this ditch over there and just kind of went by my day.
She was at boarding school and her family were well known in the community.
I felt dirty and I felt exposed.
Do you think more and more people are resorting to self-induced abortions?
Yes, I know people who have used bleach and vodka. I know people who have tried to use herbs that they just heard about on the internet.
Those highly dangerous choices could kill them, and they're potentially breaking the law too. Many feel like they're running out of options and that the rights they do have could soon be rewritten. But going it alone could easily prove to be fatal. Cordelia Lynch, Sky News, Oklahoma City.